What was that?
Let's just say Dyer has some additional rations.
From the body. And that's what we're coming in on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. Surprise start. Call of Cthulhu, Episode 6, Amidst the Ancient Trees. I'm Lucasgvariety, and I'm here with these guys again to jump into the world of madness in the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition role-playing game based on H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu Mythos. And we are back. We're going to kind of recap a little bit because of the mess up. It's been a couple weeks, and there was a mess up at the recording of the last video. If you watched before, you know what I'm talking about. So, yes, Sidney Harris was taken down. He shot Dyer in the head. It was kind of like a major kind of scalp wound right about here, right? Something like that. Dyer stabbed the corpse and made rations out of him. Haha. But he did use this shirt for a bandage, which looks probably really weird right now in this old dude, right? And I think, though, it was Thomas who did the final shootings. Yeah.
Yeah. It was me.
Duke Suffolk stood outside, nice and safe and smart, really. And then they followed the trail further to where they saw that the main trail that was still going north towards the logging camp, and then there was a small foot trail with some footprints leading off that way. A couple sets, bigger sets, and a small set which they thought maybe was Jane. They led off that way, going kind of a northeasterly direction, and they came across this cabin, which they immediately recognized. Two of them did. Those who had dreams, which the dreams never really described or read to the audience, but you kind of got it from Dyer and Meadows' perspective. They had the same dream. It was like the cabin with the silhouettes in there. That was the same cabin painted on the picture / in the dreams that they've come across. So, let me switch over to this other thing that shows the picture in roll 20. They enter said cabin, right? Where they're talking. I keep forgetting there's a dog here. Kurt, you got to remind me that you have a dog.
It's okay. I keep forgetting as well.
Maybe he was never here at all. No.
I mean, I like the idea that I have a dog. I keep forgetting to include him in my plans.
Yes, I can't remember all the time, so you gotta help me out there.
Yeah.
It's fine. So they find this cabin, and they go inside, and I recap some of the trinkets found inside. Inside there are Civil War Union Army uniforms and hats hung upon pegs, blood-stained hunting knives on the table, long dead animals hanging from hooks in the ceiling. There's no evidence of cooking. An old Civil War era rifle stands in the corner, which is all rusted and jammed. You guys, I think someone identified that the knives on the table are similar to the one you found out by the painter's corpse. Then you also saw this pale blue light creeping up from the gaps in the floorboards. You found a trapdoor which led down to an earthen basement, and then pale blue light is emanating from a set of 5 blue stone caskets, 3 of which were open, and 2 which had the covers on them still, or their lids, tops, whatever. I think Thomas found this little diary, then he took it, because Thomas and Dyer went down, right? And you found this little diary. You handed it back up to the Duke, and he started thumbing through it. And I sent Duke a message, basically the main stuff that's in there, so it'll be up to him to share when he wants, how he wants to. So him and Meadows stayed upstairs. The dog, maybe you didn't notice, but the dog, Spike, the black lab, stayed outside. With no one.
He wouldn't come in.
What's
He didn't
that?
want to come in. He didn't want to come in. He was shaking.
I think, yeah, the dog probably would have been smelling around and just like maybe even a low growl. His hackles are up, and he stayed outside, kind of that whimper kind of growl that dogs do when they're both scared and angry at the same time, or very defensive. So we didn't really play that out because, like I said, I forgot the dog was there. But that's what would have happened. But I think Thomas walked right in after that.
I remember I looked around, saw the glow,
Yep.
and I left, and then we were talking about it, and I mentioned it, and then we went back in.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you're right. Yep. Because Meadows wanted to go back in, but he stayed upstairs now. You guys also found, I believe, a small locket. I think someone found a locket with a picture in it. A man and a woman.
I believe so.
And then someone also found a glistening metallic spike that was hollow, that kind of started small and kind of waved like this and got bigger at the end. And if you look through it, it's completely hollow, and it's some kind of metal that no one was able to identify. So someone, I'm not sure who has that.
I had that. I remember that.
Okay. The person who found the diary, well, the Duke has it. The diary, the name Joseph Turner is inscribed inside the front cover. I'm not sure if I told you that before. Fairly untidy handwriting. And he's up there reading it when this stuff was happening. And then the last thing you guys looked at before we get to our last part here was that you found small traces of green dust-like decay that were kind of flittering up in the air and kind of like on the walls and stuff like that. And that's when Dyer's like, I'm going to open one of these caskets. And he pushed. And I remember you spent a little bit of luck to make your roll fit. It was like 6 points. So you bit just to make sure, and you pushed the lid off the coffin. And that's when we come back to the present. That was the main stuff that happened there. And when you looked inside, you saw a man laying down, dressed full head to toe in his Union Army, Civil War Army getup, his full regala. And then his eyes opened, and he sat up. I don't know, did he sit up?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he just opened his eyes, and he's like, Dyer, we've been waiting for you to arrive. And it was just about the middle of that sentence. I think, Dyer, you said something like your eyes might have, had a little bit of surprise, but still, like, stone-faced. You were like...
I thought you said that it was too late.
Right? I think that's where we left.
Yeah, just kind of like, he didn't waste any time. He saw the eyes open. He's like, shunk.
So you take your machete out. So it's more of a hacking weapon than it is stabbing, but are you making it so you're stabbing the point of it down right into the skull or the chest? Is that how you were doing it?
Yeah.
Where are you stabbing him at?
No, do the skull.
Okay. I'm going to give you... The thing doesn't look completely surprised that you act like this, but it also doesn't have time to really put up a defense. So I'm going to give you a bonus die when you roll. And I mean, that's exactly how we're starting out. Let me open up your character sheet here so I remember how we do these things.
So I'm rolling machete.
It's going to be, because it should be based off of your fighting brawl. You can roll the, I think, gray dice. That way you can get yourself a bonus die on there.
Do I want to roll the fighting brawl or the machete, or are they both the same?
You should roll the machete. The machete
is based off your fighting brawl.
Yeah, it should be based off the thing, but yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you had that extra one there to give you a hard success in the very first roll of the game. As we came back. So, let's see. Do you have damage bonus for your size? Oh, you do. You have a D4 damage bonus. That's nice. So you can roll a 1d8 plus a 1d4.
It's already rolled. You get 10.
Oh, is it? Oh, yep.
Did it roll my size bonus, though?
Yes.
No, it added it in there. If
1d8 plus 1d4.
Yep,
okay.
So you got an 8 plus 2. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good job of keeping track of all that stuff.
I just didn't look at the very bottom, so I'm not used to it. Wow. All right. Let me just... I'm always looking at the combat order, or the combat stuff and fighting with it. We're going to go into combat order in about a second here. So it works. Let me get the stats for these guys here. Oh, wow. They will be glad. Okay, so what's your guys' dexterity? That's the order we're going to go in. What's your actual dexterity number?
45.
50.
Wait, who said 50?
Damn.
Okay. What's
I have 45. I don't know what the Baron has.
Baron?
50.
50.
I'm the slowest of us all.
Yeah. Not right now. You're all right. Okay, so... Okay. So, sorry, just a little... trying to figure out the stats. So, he's like, Dyer. He's like laying back like this, right? He's like, Dyer, we've been waiting for you to... straight down the middle of the forehead. And it sticks and goes... Like, you probably, like, drive a third of the blade into it. Like, Thomas, you hear this voice and turn around just to see Dyer do this, two-handed downward stab. Like he's sacrificing somebody on an altar. And you stab it right through the forehead, and things like looking at you, like its eyes go just a barely a little bit wider. And
do you have any idea how much that stings?
Close. But so you stab it, and you're holding it there, and then the thing still looking at you is like, Dyer, there's no need for that. We can all be part of the same children of Galaki together. Eternal life. Won't you reconsider your actions? And this thing's sitting here with the blade stuck in its forehead with your hand still on the handle. You guys up above, Meadows and Suffolk, hear this chatting going on. And I'm putting you guys in initiative order just in case it gets rowdy. Dem and the Baron are both at 50, so you guys go at the same time.
So Dyer looks at the creature and is like, yeah, I've seen this stuff before. Yeah, if I'm joining you, it's not without a fight. You're gonna have to earn it.
Could I see anything from where I was at, or am I just hearing talking?
I don't think so. I don't think you've seen anything. You've only seen the glow and them moving around. Like, you might be able to see like the bottom of Dyer's feet from the angle you're at. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think you might be able to, or you want to like make a luck roll maybe? See what happens?
That's fine. I'll talk to other, like, hey, who are you talking to? Yes, because that sounds exactly what the Baron would say. Let me rephrase that.
Sure.
Who are you speaking with down there?
Why don't you come down here and find out? I'm probably going to need you in a second.
Yeah, I'll float down here.
Okay, I'll head down. That doesn't seem ominous at all.
So you had this diary that you just thumbed through, and as you get to the bottom, like your action is going down to the bottom of the stairs. What are you doing, Dyer? Like as you get down there, you see, I guess, an open coffin with a machete sticking out of the forehead of a man dressed in a full Union, Northern Union uniform, and Dyer with both hands on the machete blade talking to it. That's what you see.
What am I doing?
Well, your turn's coming, like, you're right after that, so you're probably reacting right now. You hear the free...
Standing there dumbstruck?
I guess. I'm just going with initiative order.
Okay.
You hear talking, he's like, what's going on down there? Like, the Duke's already on the move. Like, why don't you go down and find out? Okay, and he's hopping down the stairs seeing this, and that's going to be the end of his action. Dyer, do you do anything else?
I guess I'll remove the machete from his skull because it appears like it's not going to do anything.
I mean, you sunk it in, and as you pull it out, like, it takes black ichor with it, and it's, like, covered with... No, I'm sorry, it's green. It's green, very much like the crap on the walls. It's, like, sticking, like an gooish stuff is sticking to the blade, pulling it directly out of the brain, where you no doubtedly gave him a lobotomy, real easy.
So after I completely withdraw the sword and see the ichor on it, I just kind of scrape the sides on the coffin to kind of get the black ichor off.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of clean the blade. Maybe lean in a little bit to sharpen it as well.
Okay, so that's it? Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's
no one else is there right now that I should be worried about.
That's fine. All right, Thomas. Like, the Duke comes down and sees it, and maybe, I'm not sure what he's thinking. You can tell me how the Duke reacts if you want to, unless he's just coming down like, okay. I don't know.
Well, I saw him pull the blade out of something's head.
I like how you're not crazy yet. I don't know how none of you are.
Where is he?
I don't plan on going crazy.
Oh.
Well, nobody plans on going crazy.
The game plans on it. No one else does. I mean, do you say or do anything else? Or I guess not do anything. I guess the camera's gauging your reaction right now. Like, it's almost like there's almost could be a rack shot. Like it's right on the head side of the coffin, looking at Dyer up close, and then we, like he pulls it out, and then we rack shot past it and zoom in on Duke coming at the bottom, like right on his face as he just saw this happen.
Yeah, I just have a very perplexed look on my face. Let's go with that.
Yeah, your brain's trying to figure it out right now. You're like, do I accept this as real or do I deny it and keep my sanity? And then we go to Thomas. You just witnessed this whole thing, Thomas. What do you do? Hey, we're up here.
I know.
I know there's a lot of voices in your background, but hey,
Shush.
no.
I'm not sure what. I mean, I turn around and I see Dyer basically pulling a. Is the thing still talking to him? Can I hear the voice?
Yeah, he's talking out loud. He's like, he goes, he's like, he said something like, we don't need to fight like this. We can talk to you about, the one and true God and the eternal life that he'll give you under his servitude. And he's sitting there as he's starting to like sit up and look as he's looking at Dyer, but also his eyes will scan to all of you. And he's just bleeding this greenish black gook from like the middle of his forehead here. Let me take my glasses off. And it's just like oozing down his face like this. And he's just like, as he's rising up, he's like, there is no need for violence. So Thomas, do something or I'm passing on you.
So I will draw my pistol, though I'm pretty sure I already had it out. I point at the man. It's clearly a man. He's just disturbed. And
yeah.
Put your hands up.
He puts his hands up on the edges of the coffin.
No, up in the air.
It does. He goes, there's no need for violence. I'm not here to hurt you.
Well, then don't move anymore. Who are you?
He goes, my name is August, and this is Jacob. So I'm going to go to his action, and his action is to sit up and put his hands up. And the other closed coffin next to him, the lid goes... and the top goes up, and another Union soldier sits up. Thomas, hi. I'm Jacob. There's no need for guns or knives. We're all friends here.
I don't think that's true. I have a hard time believing the sincerity of we're all friends to two men who just crawled out of a coffin.
You disturbed our slumber. We didn't disturb yours. You attacked us. We have not attacked you. And the one's just sitting up now. They're both sitting up, but the one's just sitting there looking at Dyer. This stuff running down his face from the machete puncture in his forehead. Like, right there. It's got to be like, 3 or 4 inches wide almost.
Just caught on his skull. It's okay.
No. Oh, I guess right. It's your denial's kicking in. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Just caught on. Yeah. So they don't do anything for the moment, but you don't know if they will. Well, I guess there's a little bit of free talking at the moment.
Do you need something to stop that bleeding?
No, I have eternal life through Galaki. I don't die, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can have eternal life as well. And you can. You guys can do spot hiddens if you want.
Okay.
Meadows. I'm not gonna have him do one because you guys are.
Oops.
He's up top anyway.
That's fine. Yeah, maybe. Is he? Hard success, 2 success.
That's where he was at.
So, Dyer and Suffolk, you notice that they're very, very pale. Their skin is, even in this blue light, you got your lamp out, so it's a weird mixture of light, but their skin's very ashen. Very extremely palish gray. Thomas, you notice that they are both in different spots, different areas on their skin, on their clothing, that have different spots or flecks or covering of that same greenish fungus that's on the walls and floor in this room. They have on, like I said, they have in the clothes. Like Jacob, the second guy, to open up his he on the right side of his face when he turns, you can see it's all down the right side of his face and his neck, and his right eye is actually caved in a little bit, partially missing. When he turns to face you can see it, and everybody can see it now, and everybody can go ahead and make sanity rolls.
I don't like sanity rolls.
Oh.
I told you.
Wow. Jeez, oh Pete's. It's just Dyer. All right, well, let me take a look here. Actually, I mean, who knows? Who knows what it is? You see, the thing is, you were talking about it while you were in Roll20, so it heard you, right?
I've been using Roll20 for over a couple of years now, and I only recall 2 fumbles, and they were both mine. Someone else, maybe one other. Yeah, Roll20 is rigged.
Okay, so Dyer and the Duke each take 1 point for success, and a D.
Dyer does not take 1 point.
He rolls a D8. Let's keep it low. Buddy.
So I take 1 point too, even though I succeeded.
Yes. You and the Duke take 1 each, and Dyer takes 6 and goes into some type of insanity here. But instead of rolling off the chart, I'm gonna talk it out with Dyer.
So my sanity is now 37.
Would you take 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
I subtract 6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thomas.
No, he says you take 6, so add it in.
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's try. Thomas would be at 51 and Bernard would be at 55 by my calculations.
No, I just changed mine down.
What's that?
I just edited it. Do you not see the edit?
I'm looking. I put it on the little chart here. What is yours?
I said mine shows 56 now.
Oh, you're at 56 now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alrighty then. That's why I ask. Okay, so it's at that point with the oozing head wound and seeing that the guy's right eye, Jacob's right eye, the other guy's right eye is like pretty much gone and eaten away with this mold coming out of it and coming down his face. That's like, that's just a little, wrong, not right, bad. And I don't know. I'm gonna let Dem play. It's like we could roll the D10 for the temporary madness one, but it's just different weird stuff that may or may not work in the fiction. So we can do that. Ghost train's coming through, or you can basically at this point with a temporary bout of sanity, the GM, the lore keeper, takes over and says, "You do this." But I'd like to know what kind of action Dyer might have, and then I'll say what happens for a minute, and then you'll come back in a little bit.
So what do you want me to do?
Well, okay, so like on the temporary bouts of madness, there's the D10 you can roll. You have amnesia, you get robbed, you get battered, violence, ideology, beliefs, flee and panic, phobia, mania. You develop a new phobia or new mania. Your significant people or relationships, like some of your background stuff can change because of this. I'm sorry, it's real time. Sorry, amnesia, psychosomatic disability, violence, paranoia, faint, flee and panic, physical hysterics, emotional outburst, phobia, mania. Like you can roll, and one of these things happens to you temporarily, or you can go, you know what? I think this would be appropriate as for Dyer as a character. Like one of those things could work, or you might think of something else that like kind of fits in better.
No, I got one.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go. Okay, this is what happens when this starts happening. Then we'll bring it back to you in a little bit. So tell me, this all kind of hits home. Go.
So Dyer's looking at the 3 Confederate soldiers, and he's seeing that
Union.
Sorry, Union. I don't remember stuff.
That's fine.
We've established that in the Sunday game.
That's fine.
So he looks at like the 3 Union, and then he starts looking over at Thomas, and he starts looking over at Bernard. And as he kind of keeps looking, he's losing track of who looks like they're from the Union and who's not. So he's starting to his sight is starting to play tricks on him, and suddenly he's kind of seeing that everybody looks like they're from the Union right now. So he's starting to think that he doesn't have any allies in this room.
Okay. Did everybody just become a foe?
Maybe temporarily.
All right.
He's not able to tell. He's not able to separate them anymore. They all look
the same.
They all look like they've seen better days.
Okay.
So hallucination.
Yeah.
Hallucination and paranoia.
I think that's on there. There's physical hysterics and emotional outburst. Nope. Investigator gains a new phobia. Even if the source of the phobia is not present, they imagine it is there for the next 1d10 rounds. Roll a d10. One. Okay. So you have the 2 now you get me saying it. The 2 Union dressed soldiers poking out of the casket. You have one that's upstairs. You can see his feet as he's just starting to come down, and then the 2 behind you. And then there's also that damn Union dog that's outside too. they all have green mold all over them, and they're all wearing the same uniforms, and they're all surrounding you, and they all want you to join them in everlasting life.
Well, Dyer is going to put up a fight. So,
and you see the one that is Thomas. You see that he's got this metal hollow spike in his hand, and he's wants to bring it back to stab you. The other one that just came down the stairs is holding this book, and it looks like a book of ancient magic, occult stuff, that he looks like he's going to cast a spell, while the 2 climbing out of the coffins are probably going to strangle you with their bare hands. And then there's the one coming down the stairs that has a gun.
Interesting how all the playable characters I see have weapons coming after me.
I mean, you can...
Because the other ones are unarmed, right?
Yeah, but they're strong. They don't take much. I mean, you stabbed one in the head and it didn't die. And the thing is, the one inside the coffin right there is the closest one to you still. Thomas would be the next closest, but he's a few steps behind you. Him and the Duke. So, I mean, you can assign numbers and roll a d5 too if you're going to go out on a crazy-ass attack.
I like that.
I don't.
So, all right. So,
You tell me.
Unions 1, 3, and 5.
What's that?
Union. I'm gonna roll a 1d5. Union member will be 1, 3, and 5.
There's only 2 of them.
2.
There's 2.
Who's the third person coming? Oh, it's
Meadows.
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 Meadows
Okay.
is number 5. And then you can have the bad guy.
So let's do. So 1 and 5 is. I'm gonna have to write this down.
I can write it down if you want.
1, 5, Union. 2, Thomas. 3, Meadows. And 4 is Bernard. So 1 Union.
Is that what?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. So you attack one of the.
I'm going to attack the one that I already stabbed once. I'm going to try to take off his head.
So you swing your machete at him again?
Yep.
Okay, so this time he's definitely ready for it. All right. So he is. I said use Dex as normal for combat order, Initiate attack, so he's going to fight back. Okay, so let me just make sure I got the guy's stats. I think it is... Okay. Roll the hard success. Roll your machete attack. Regular success. So, I believe combat rolls cannot be pushed. Fight back. Draw initiator wins. Both fail, no damage inflicted. Highest level of success wins. Okay. And... Oops, I went too far. Just make sure. That doesn't work. Oh, because I did it the wrong way.
Don't do that.
I know. Okay. So this is what happens. He did the combat. He got the lower amount. I'm just going by the rules here, at least as best as I can understand them. It's you both. He decides to fight back instead of dodge, and so this is damage, but it doesn't have to be. It's not like lethal damage. I don't know how to explain it. The subdual, like, you know. So just keep track. You take 3 hit points. You can still take it off your major wounds, Dyer, but you can make a note somewhere that 3 of them, these next 3, were the non-lethal. They weren't major wounds. It was more like subdual. So what happens?
So what does that mean?
It's non-lethal. It's like getting punched in the face. So it's not like trying to kill you. It's trying to subdue you. So you go to swing. You're just like, and you're like, ah, and you swing, and he catches your arm, and it's like hitting a wall of iron, and your just arm feels like it almost breaks in its own accord. And then he catches it like this, and with his other hand, hand shoots up, and he grabs you by the throat, and he starts to squeeze the air out of you, and just like you're like just a, you know, without the sound effect, of course, and he's holding on to your throat. So he's kind of got you in a hold. And I think if we come back to the top of the round, because we did, insanity checks after all that? You and the Duke are first. And he's like, no. He goes, no, Dyer. There's no need for that. You were going to meet the Master, and now you will stay here. The rest of you should stay here as well. What do you do?
Who are you talking to?
You and the Duke.
Oh, me?
You and the Duke. Yep.
I'm going to take out my .45 revolver.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot. So if he's grabbing onto me, I'm going to shoot right here.
Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, you shoot him in the hand? The one that's holding you?
Yep.
Love it. Okay, firearms. Firearms attacks are not opposed. Determine the difficulty of the weapon's range, which you are within close combat. Make a roll. Target my dive. Let's see. Burst fire.
No, it's not happening.
Well, hold on. You get bonus dice. Did you roll already?
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to get bonus dice here. Hold on. Subtract armor. Note.
Do you want me to...
Okay.
What do I get bonus die for?
Base range is regular. Okay, so diving for cover, nope. Partially concealed, nope. Not from there. Point blank, you get 1 bonus die. You're not aiming. Hold on a second. Target is small, nope. Target is large, nope. Loading 1 bullet and shooting the same round, no. So I would give you 1 bonus die. So just roll it again regular. Because you technically would have had 2 rolls to make.
Okay.
Holy crap! Right on.
I like that one better.
I mean, right on the mark. And combat rolls cannot be pushed, so with like luck stuff. So go ahead and roll. Probably actually should have rolled the gun.
I rolled my .45 revolver.
Oh, you did? Okay. I keep
did 11
looking at it. I'm
damage.
just looking at the results. 11 points. Holy crap! Okay, so you blow off his arm
I
right
should have
here.
aimed for his head.
What's that?
Should have aimed for his head.
Yeah, so so it's like around the throat right here, right? And so you stick the gun like right here.
No, because that's pointing it at me.
Oh yeah.
So like right here.
That's almost going up through your face. Oh gosh. Okay.
It's not. It's very close, but it's not.
Okay, so I think when he realizes you're going to do that, he actually jerks back a little bit, which throws your aim off. And when you fire the gun, you go through his hand, blowing his hand apart, and then also through his face, blowing his head apart.
Oh, okay. I can run with that.
So you're just like, no. And you just hear him like, no, Dyer. And it just black, gooey, viscous is everywhere. And the body just like, it's like Bobby the Balloon Head. Only you're going to get that. And it slumps back into the coffin. And the other
Are you wearing a Miskatonic University shirt?
Yes. I've been wearing it several times, actually. Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah. I got that at Adepticon last year, actually. You just can never see it on the overlay, and I always forget about it. So you do that. The gunshot goes off. You guys are just deafened in this small room. Just boom. It was 45. What you said it was a 45?
Yes.
Yep. Kaboom.
Yeah, those are a little loud.
And the other guy just is like, no. No, he doesn't sound like he's like, no. And Duke, what are you doing? Like you've seen a whole bunch of crap just happen. Like Dyer went nuts. He tried to chop his head off. Blew the guy.
I didn't see Dyer go nuts. I saw Dyer try to attack a guy who was attacking him.
That's true. What do you do?
I'm not in Dyer's head. I don't know what he thought. Well, the lucky thing is I also have a sidearm, and I see Mr. Dyerman attacking creepy corpse man. I am also gonna take a shot at other creepy corpse man.
All right, let me ask you a question. Which gun are you using?
My Colt 45.
And what's the range? 15 feet. All right,
Yes.
so you're in point blank range, so you could definitely roll the gray die for an extra bonus die.
Yeah, I will do so.
Yeah, I think he's crawling off now. I'm not going to give him partial cover, so hard success. 6 points. You guys don't like the idea of joining this very fruitful religious organization, apparently. Okay, all right.
I know who Glocky is.
Do you know?
I know. My character doesn't.
All right. So he doesn't know that he's bad. Just let's keep that in mind here. You may be making assumptions because they're crawling out of coffins with mold on them, whatever. Anyway, what time is it?
I
Anyway?
don't think that's too far of a stretch, Guys crawl out of coffins, start demanding to join the religious organization. They're probably not the most savory of types.
So presumptuous. You guys are just killing people left and right now. Human, dead, zombie, not human,
Hey,
whatever.
every single one of my attacks was self-defense.
I know.
Not once have I actually attacked someone to kill them. I've done it because they have tried to kill me.
What about the corpse? In the back in the other cabin.
It attacked me, so I needed.
No, it didn't. All that happened to this one is like hi Dyerman, waiting for you, and then you stabbed him. I'm pretty sure that was not self-defense.
Nope, Dyer's been around. He knows this stuff. He's lived in the forest his whole life.
I'm gonna call bullshit on the whole self-defense thing.
I call bullshit on your bullshit.
I don't really care. I'm just starting.
I don't think any court would agree that if somebody says hello and you stab someone and stab that person in the forehead, it's self-defense. I stab self-defense.
If they have moss and are not breathing, then I think I might have a case.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe.
Well, let's see how this game pans out. We might find out.
That's true. So
Not if I can help it.
the Colt 45 blast goes off, and holy crap! And this guy, like, he just takes him through, like, right about here. say, boss, say, and just blows a huge chunk, and his right arm is just dangling. And he's so yeah, there's that point, and he doesn't scream or anything. He just gets thrown back against the back edge, and it gets back up like this, and starts to climb over. It's on his turn. It'll be doing that. Climb over the edge. Thomas, what do you do? You hear Meadows, who's coming down the stairs, like, "Oh, fuck, no!" And he's just like, well, out of cigarettes.
It's the worst, most unprofessional valet ever.
So everybody else just kind of opened fire.
Are you gonna jump off that bridge too?
At this point, I'm feeling threatened enough that I probably just shoot the same guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why are you feeling threatened?
Because these guys are creepifying.
So, I love you guys' justifications. They're creepy, that makes them feel threatened.
No, I mean, so
three people find it weird that
they know my name. They just popped out of these coffins. They obviously are up to no good. Hanging out in the forest.
What?
Eh.
You're not even looking at me when you say that. You can't see my expressions here as I'm like going, what are you talking about, Kurt? No, go ahead. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just stirring the pot. What did you say, Dem?
Nothing important.
What do you do, Thomas? You shooting?
I'm thinking. Hold on. So either I'm gonna shoot, or you know what? I'm going to attempt to restrain the guy who's not a smear on the ceiling.
All right. That's fair.
I got my handcuffs out. I do one of those around his wrist.
Okay, let's look at first skill for that. How about that? I mean, do you think fighting brawl is fair? Because you're just.
I mean, probably is a good choice. I'm looking. I don't see anything better.
Okay, so you're not going for damage. You're going for restraining.
I'm just like trying to restrain him. At the same time, kind of holding my hand up. The other two, be like, just stop shooting each other, everybody.
If you're going towards him, I mean, so are you just okay? So you come at him with the handcuffs out, telling him like, "Hey, stop shooting him, hold on," and then you try to handcuff him.
Yeah.
Do you say anything to him when you come at him?
Don't move. I guess I'm trying to be authoritative. I guess that could be intimidating.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
You don't have to say anything at all, or you can just try to do it. I'm just asking.
Like, don't move, and you might get out of this alive. And I go to cuff him, and at the same time, I kind of hold my hand up to the other guys, being like, "Hey, chill out."
Let me ask. So, yeah, let me ask the Duke and Dyer. What are your intentions after hearing this?
Well, Dyer's already.
Hearing what? I couldn't hear anything. It's 2 gunshots just went off in a closed space.
Well, you can see his hand telling you to stop.
Based on what I witnessed, I am not going to stop.
All right. Well,
I just saw some goo guy just get shot. I can put 2 to 2 together to realize these are no ordinary men who deserve the respect of ordinary men.
So you'd understand why someone might suddenly attack them when their eyes flash blue and they say they know you and they've been expecting you.
I fully understand.
And that person might want to defend himself. A form of self-defense.
I understand why a person would want to take the aggressive action of attacking first.
okay. So
Good try.
Thomas, as you put your hand up and you come to handcuff him, he's like, "They will not quit." You must try harder. I will. He goes, he comes in like, I will go along peacefully. And he's like holding up one hand, like he can't even hold this one up, so he's holding his hands in front of him. He's like, I would come peacefully if that make you feel better, but they intend to murder me.
I won't let them. And I step to handcuff him.
All right, but you are strategically placed between them and him, and he lets you put the handcuffs on him. So that's like you move there and you do that as your action.
Okay.
And we're about to find out what happens, but we're not going to find out until after we come back from our break. So come back and join us in just a couple minutes. We're going to see the conclusion, see if everybody will be killing each other or enemies, friends, whatever. So we will be back. Join us in just a couple.